Ladies, let's talk. Because too many of you are out here worried, wondering, and stressing over whether your man is truly loyal. And listen, I get it. You've seen too much, you've heard too much, and maybe you've been through too much to just blindly trust a man's words. But today, we're going to break this down so that you can move in confidence, not fear. See, a loyal man isn't something you have to guess about. A man who won't cheat on you doesn't just say he's faithful. He shows you through his actions, his consistency, and his character. A man's words can be sweet, reassuring, and even persuasive, but words alone mean nothing without consistent actions to back them up. When a man is truly loyal and committed to you, his behavior aligns with what he says. If he tells you he loves you, he will show it in the way he prioritizes you, respects you, and makes you feel valued in the relationship. If he claims honesty is important, then his actions will reflect transparency. No sneaky behavior, no half-truths, and no situations that leave you questioning his intentions. Consistency is key. A man who is genuine in his loyalty doesn't just do the right things occasionally, he makes them a habit. He doesn't suddenly change when he's around certain people, nor does he act differently when you're not around. His love, respect, and commitment are unwavering, regardless of circumstances. He makes an effort in the relationship even when things aren't perfect. His affection and dedication don't fluctuate based on his mood, convenience, or external temptations. Pay attention to whether his actions remain steady over time. Some men will say all the right things in the beginning, but slowly start to change once they feel comfortable in the relationship. A truly loyal man doesn't just put in effort to win you over. He continues to put in effort because he values the relationship. He won't promise things he doesn't intend to follow through on, and he won't give you false hope just to keep you around. When he commits, he follows through. If he says he's going to call, he does. If he makes plans with you, he sticks to them. If he says he's faithful, his lifestyle leaves no room for doubt. His words and actions are always in alignment. A man with true integrity is loyal not because he has to be, but because it is who he is at his core. His faithfulness is not dependent on circumstances, your presence, or whether someone is watching. He carries himself with a sense of honor, making choices that reflect his character rather than his impulses. He doesn't entertain temptation or put himself in situations where his loyalty could be questioned. Even when no one is looking, he still moves in a way that aligns with the values he claims to have. A man who moves with integrity doesn't need constant supervision or reminders of what is right and wrong. His commitment to being faithful isn't something that requires effort. It's second nature to him. He doesn't need to delete messages, hide his phone, or create unnecessary secrecy around his actions. His life is an open book, not because you demand it, but because he has nothing to hide. He is upfront about who he is, what he stands for, and how he conducts himself in relationships. He is not swayed by external influences or peer pressure. He doesn't allow his friends, his environment, or social expectations to dictate his actions. If he is committed to you, no amount of external temptation will make him risk what he has. He understands that integrity is not just about being faithful when things are easy, but about maintaining that same standard even when faced with challenges. His choices are deliberate, his actions are intentional, and his respect for the relationship is unwavering. A man with integrity sets boundaries that prevent him from crossing lines, not just for your sake, but because it is a standard he holds himself to regardless of who he is with. When a man is truly loyal, you don't feel the need to question his every move or second guess his intentions. There is a natural sense of security that comes with being with someone who values honesty, respect, and commitment. You're not constantly checking his phone, wondering who he's texting, or feeling uneasy about his whereabouts. He creates an environment where trust can thrive because his actions are consistent and his behavior doesn't give you reasons to doubt him. He communicates openly, and there is no secrecy in the way he moves. You don't have to beg for reassurance because he provides it effortlessly through his consistency. He doesn't disappear for hours without explanation or act distant when he's around you. He makes an effort to include you in his life, and his routine remains steady regardless of external circumstances. There's no hot and cold energy, no moments where you feel like something is off, and no hidden behaviors that make you feel like you need to investigate. His social interactions don't raise red flags. He's not overly friendly with other women, and he doesn't seek validation outside of the relationship. He is mindful of how his actions affect you and prioritizes your peace over temporary excitement. If he's out, he keeps you informed without you having to ask. If another woman shows interest in him, he sets clear boundaries without hesitation. His loyalty is a natural extension of who he is, and because of that, you feel emotionally safe. Your intuition plays a big role in how you perceive a relationship, and when you're with a man who is genuinely faithful, your intuition is calm. You're not battling with feelings of uncertainty, and you don't find yourself constantly needing to question whether he's truly committed to you. A man who is truly loyal possesses self-control, and that self-control is what keeps him committed even when faced with temptation. He understands that attraction to other people is natural, but he never allows fleeting feelings or external validation to dictate his actions. His ability to remain faithful is not based on convenience or lack of opportunity. It's a conscious choice he makes every single day. He knows what he has in you, and he values the relationship enough to protect it. He doesn't entertain distractions. He's not engaging in playful flirting, liking provocative pictures, or keeping doors open with past flings. He sets clear boundaries, not just because he's in a relationship, but because he respects both himself and you. His discipline extends beyond physical faithfulness. It shows in how he carries himself, the conversations he allows, and the way he navigates social situations. He doesn't put himself in positions where temptation could turn into action, and he holds himself accountable in every situation. His self-control is evident in the way he handles emotions and challenges. When arguments happen, he doesn't storm off looking for outside attention. When stress hits, he doesn't seek temporary comfort in the wrong places. He understands that loyalty is more than just avoiding physical cheating. It's also about emotional discipline and not allowing external factors to weaken the foundation of the relationship. He is aware of the long-term consequences of short-term decisions. He doesn't let momentary pleasure or an ego boost outweigh the commitment he has made. His sense of loyalty is not based on fear of getting caught, but on a deep understanding that real love requires restraint, wisdom, and respect. His ability to control himself is what makes him a man you can trust without hesitation. Loyalty is not just a momentary decision. It is proven over time through consistent actions, especially when circumstances change. Anyone can be faithful in the beginning when everything is exciting and new, but true loyalty is tested when challenges arise. A man who is truly committed to you remains the same, no matter how long you've been together, no matter what life throws at him, and no matter who enters or exits his life. His devotion is not based on convenience, but on the foundation of respect and integrity he has built with you. Over time, people's true nature is revealed. Some men can pretend to be faithful for a while, but eventually their patterns expose them. A man who is genuinely loyal doesn't have phases where he suddenly starts acting differently. He doesn't become distant out of nowhere, stop communicating as much, or start engaging in behavior that makes you question his commitment. He remains consistent because his faithfulness is a part of who he is, not just something he does when it's easy. When life gets stressful, he doesn't change how he treats you. When arguments happen, he doesn't seek comfort elsewhere. When opportunities for temptation present themselves, he doesn't waver. His behavior is not dictated by external factors. It is a direct reflection of his values and the way he chooses to love you. Loyalty is something that stands the test of time. It doesn't disappear when things get tough, when the excitement fades, or when another woman shows interest. A loyal man is steady, reliable, and trustworthy in all seasons of the relationship. His love doesn't come with conditions, and his actions don't shift based on circumstances. The way he treated you in the beginning is the way he continues to treat you regardless of time. Respect is the foundation of loyalty, and a man who truly values you will never put you in a position where you have to question his commitment. He understands that being in a relationship means upholding certain boundaries, not just for your sake, but because he genuinely honors the connection you share. His actions reflect a deep understanding that love isn't just about feelings, it's about responsibility, consideration, and the choices he makes every day. He is mindful of how his behavior affects you. He doesn't engage in activities that would make you feel uncomfortable or disrespected. He isn't reckless with his words or careless with his actions. He is not out here giving other women reasons to think they have a chance with him. He doesn't create situations where you have to compete for his attention. He carries himself in a way that reinforces the security of your relationship rather than causing doubt. Respect also means transparency. A man who values the relationship will not be secretive about his whereabouts, his phone, or his social interaction. He doesn't hide things because there is nothing to hide. He is open and honest, not because he is being forced to be, but because he knows that real love requires trust. He doesn't see commitment as a restriction, it's a privilege, and he treats it as such. When a man truly respects the relationship, he takes responsibility for his role in making it work. He doesn't just assume that being faithful is enough. He actively nurtures the connection. He listens to your concerns, makes adjustments when needed, and ensures that you feel valued. His respect is evident in the way he prioritizes the relationship, protects your peace, and refuses to let anything or anyone jeopardize what you have built together. A man who is truly loyal and committed to you does not seek validation from other women. He doesn't need outside attention to feel good about himself, nor does he use flirtation as a way to boost his ego. His confidence comes from within, and his sense of self-worth isn't dependent on how many women find him attractive. He understands that the validation he needs should come from his own self-assurance and the love you both share, not from entertaining unnecessary interaction. He is not the type to engage in subtle flirting, send playful texts to other women, or keep exes and female friends around just to feel wanted. He knows that seeking outside validation is a slippery slope, and he refuses to play those games. He is secure in himself and in the relationship, which means he doesn't need to test his desirability by entertaining attention from others. His love for you is not conditional on whether or not he is getting external praise. He stays committed because that's the standard he holds for himself. His behavior is the same regardless of who is around. He doesn't act differently when he's with his friends or when he's in a setting where no one would hold him accountable. His integrity is what keeps him grounded, and he doesn't seek out situations where he can indulge in unnecessary attention. He isn't scrolling through social media, liking provocative pictures, leaving flirty comments, or entertaining women in his DMs. He doesn't crave the attention of multiple women because he is fully satisfied with the love, affection, and connection he has with you. His actions show that he values the relationship more than any temporary thrill or ego boost that comes from outside attention. A loyal man doesn't live a double life or keep parts of himself hidden from you. He includes you in his world without hesitation because he sees you as a significant part of his life, not just an accessory to it. He introduces you to his family, his friends, and the people who matter most to him. He doesn't shy away from acknowledging you in public, and he has no problem showing that you are his partner. His love is not something he keeps private only when it's convenient. He embraces it fully, without secrecy or hesitation. You never feel like an outsider in his life. He shares his thoughts, his dreams, and his plans with you. You are not left wondering where you stand or questioning if he is truly serious about the relationship. He makes it clear through his actions that you are not just a temporary fixture in his world. He considers you when making decisions, values your input, and ensures that you feel included in his journey. He doesn't operate as if he is still single or keep aspects of his life away from you to maintain a sense of separation. There are no mysterious friends or questionable relationships that make you feel uneasy. The people he interacts with know about you, respect your place in his life, and are aware of the commitment he has made. He doesn't keep female friendships hidden or entertain relationships that blur the lines of what is appropriate. His transparency eliminates confusion, and his actions show that he is not living a life that contradicts his loyalty to you. When a man is truly committed, he doesn't just make space for you in his life, he actively integrates you into it, showing you that his love is real, consistent, and open. A man who is truly loyal and committed to you has emotional maturity, which means he knows how to handle challenges without seeking escape or distraction. He understands that every relationship will have ups and downs, but instead of running away when things get tough, he faces those difficulties with you. He doesn't shut down, withdraw, or turn to outside attention for comfort. Instead, he communicates openly, works through conflicts, and stays present in the relationship no matter what obstacles arise. He doesn't allow emotions to dictate his decisions in a reckless way. When he's frustrated, he doesn't lash out or make impulsive choices that could damage the relationship. He has the self-awareness to recognize his feelings and deal with them in a way that is healthy and productive. He doesn't bottle things up, nor does he seek emotional validation from another woman just because he feels misunderstood. Instead, he values the relationship enough to have honest conversations, work through misunderstandings, and grow together rather than looking for an easy way out. An emotionally mature man takes accountability for his actions. He doesn't blame others for his mistakes or make excuses for poor behavior. If he does something wrong, he owns up to it, makes it right, and ensures that it doesn't become a repeated pattern. He understands that love requires effort, and he is willing to put in that effort consistently. His commitment is not based on how easy things are in the moment. It's based on the foundation of respect, trust, and emotional stability that he continuously builds with you. He is loyal not just because he loves you, but because he has the maturity to recognize that true commitment is about staying present, communicating openly, and never allowing temporary feelings to dictate permanent decisions. Loyalty isn't something that should feel like a struggle or an obligation. When a man is truly committed to you, faithfulness comes naturally to him. He doesn't see loyalty as a sacrifice or something he has to force himself to maintain. It's simply who he is. He doesn't entertain temptation, not because he's constantly resisting urges, but because he genuinely has no interest in jeopardizing what he has with you. His love is strong and his actions reflect that. You never feel like you have to beg for commitment or constantly remind him to be faithful. He doesn't make you feel insecure or like you're competing for his attention. His love is stable, his priorities are clear, and you never have to question where you stand with him. He makes it known through his consistency that you are his only choice, not just for the moment, but for the long run. A man who is effortlessly loyal is one who finds fulfillment in the relationship he has built with you. He isn't looking for something better because in his eyes, he already has the best. He doesn't need distractions, attention from other women, or validation from outside sources. His happiness is rooted in the love, trust, and connection he shares with you. He doesn't put himself in situations where lines could be blurred, and he doesn't engage in behaviors that will create doubt in your mind. He moves with intention, treats you with care, and makes loyalty look easy because for him it is. He doesn't approach the relationship with a mindset of restriction. He sees commitment as a privilege. His love is steady, not just in words, but in actions. And you never have to second guess whether he is truly devoted to you. So stop making excuses for questionable behavior. Stop hoping that maybe one day he'll change. A loyal man doesn't need to be convinced to be faithful. He already is. And when you have that kind of man, you'll know